and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me for another one of my videos today. So today, as part of my theme topic of law of attraction, I wanted to share with you the 3 key elements to healing. So a slightly different topic today, slightly going off drift with law of attraction, but I think this is super important to cover and a super important element and foundation for any inner work or any inner work you're doing, whether it's limiting beliefs, fears, trauma work. Obviously, I always suggest doing trauma work in a safe container and environment with the correct people. But even if it's looking at limiting beliefs or fears, these 3 key elements are going to help you to start to identify, start to work with, and also see what the kind of inner work entails as well. So I hope this video is going to be super helpful for you. And please let me know your thoughts in the comments below as well on your thoughts on healing, what modalities you love and use, and anything else you have to add, because obviously I love reading your comments and I reply to them all as well. So first of all, let's cover what the inner work is for anybody watching who's like, what is this? So the inner work is something that naturally comes up as you go along your law of attraction journey, whether it's limiting beliefs or fears that come up. It's looking at what the resistance is between you and your desires. So any negative inner critic talk or self-talk that comes up can definitely 100% be linked to limiting beliefs and fears that maybe sat underneath the surface, and that is affecting the energy that you're putting out into the universe, putting towards your desires, etc. So the number one thing, or the number one reason, should I say, that people don't manifest, or they come to me in my one-to-one sessions or in the manifestation membership and they're like, Emma, I've been trying to manifest this for ages, what's going on? 99% of the time, I find it's limiting beliefs and fears. It'll be a core belief or a core energy underneath that person is, you know, maybe aware of or maybe not even aware of. Our subconscious can be very sneaky sometimes. So you may be aware of them, you may be not. But normally if it's self-talk, like, you know, negative self-talk, inner critic talk, you probably are going to be aware of it already because you've probably heard it before. So I always say, like, a really good thing to do is just note down any statements or any phrases or things or negative self-talk or inner critic talk that comes up frequently, because then at least you can track it back and you can see what's coming up at what times, what was maybe happening at the time that thought or that, you know, negative self-talk was coming up. So then you can track it back and work with it a lot easier. So definitely journaling is a number one pro tip here for doing the inner work, so that you can track things, you can keep an eye on things, and also you can see yourself maybe how things are improving over time when the statements change or maybe they go all together. So definitely keeping a diary of this is super, super important. One, for the inner work and for tracking, but also as well so you can start to identify that work and start, you know, have a look at where you can begin and what core emotions or beliefs are underneath those statements as well. So the benefit of doing this work is obviously that you feel happier when you release and clear and heal limiting beliefs and fears, and trauma too, of course. Obviously you're going to feel happier, you're going to feel more at peace, you're going to feel happier, and you're going to experience life in a different way, where you're experiencing it from your current day self, not your past self who is living that memory or living that belief. So you're going to feel happier, you're going to feel more joyful, you're going to experience more joy in your life, more fun, more happiness. Your inner child's going to feel more happier as well, because they're going to feel supported and they're not talking to you from that past version of yourself that first experienced that core emotion or wound. So there are many, many benefits to this work, including happiness, joy, peace, but also manifestations as well, of course, because when our energy is reflecting outwards in that positive aligned way, we're going to positively and in an aligned way manifest those desires that we want as well. So there's only a million positives and benefits to come with this work, but I think a lot of people tend to avoid it because they don't want to go into stuff, or they don't want to do the inner work, or, you know, there's quite a lot of toxic positivity out there of just saying positive thoughts. So any negative thoughts or negative self-talk that does come up, a lot of people tend to suppress, and I definitely was one of those people in the beginning who was like, love and light, positivity, but actually that only makes it 10 times worse. So if you have been doing that, that's no shame, that's no blame. It's some of the, you know, the advice that's out there, and I think we all want to think positive, of course, as well. But actually by feeling, by allowing, by witnessing, by going into the very things, we're actually clearing it a lot quicker, and you're actually then able to witness it, move through it in a much easier way, to release it and to feel happier, truly happier, from an authentic space, which is going to authentically manifest those desires into your life. So the 3 key elements then. So I did the spiritual work for so long. So I've been on my spiritual journey for nearly 6 years now. And along those 6 years, I did a lot of spiritual work, whether it's meditation, past life regression, sound healing, gong baths, chakra work, you name it. Spirit body wise, spiritually, I've tried it, and I did a lot of that, and I definitely, you know, meditate a lot in my practice and have done over the years as well, especially with the inner work. And I definitely found that helped, and that cleared a lot, and that started to shift a lot within my life. But I found very quickly that actually the trauma that I had experienced in my life was very much cognitive as well. Like, you can clear it on a spiritual level, but then it's looking at that cognitive level as well. So the first step is really, and probably the one which most people get onto first of all, is the spiritual work. So the spirit body, energetics, spiritual healing. And that is a great way and great introductory, because obviously, like, working with your angels is a great way to do healing, whether it's through meditation, through mantras, through intention, you know, working with your elementals. There are so many different ways to work with the spirit body as such, to receive healing. And I think most people tend to feel most comfortable with that, whether it's law of attraction. I mean, I wouldn't say law of attraction is healing, but by looking at the inner work with the law of attraction side of things. So most people tend to find the spiritual side of things easy, more accessible, and that's probably the first thing they come across. But what I found, and what I say as well, is you can't sit on your meditation mat all day. You have to be practical, and you have to look at the other two elements as well. So really, like, look at the spiritual side of things first of all. Look at your spirit body. Are your chakras in balance? Where in your body are you sensing tension, or are you, you know, in a great way, which I always say is, you know, think of your desire and then say to yourself, this is not going to happen. Where in your energetic body did that hurt? That is the key point. Now, don't worry, your desires are going to happen. I just say that to get you to identify where in the energetic body, the chakra system, that pain or that block or that resistance might be residing right now. So there's a good little indicator and starting point for you as well to go in with. So once you've looked at the spirit body, the energetics, the spiritual side of healing, you have to look at the cognitive, the mind, the brain element of it as well, because our minds are our human self, right? We have our spirit self, our soul, our spirit body, we're souls having a human experience, but we're also humans who are having a very logical mind experience as well. And our mind, our subconscious, our brain has always been picking up things since we were born. Up until the age of 7, we're like sponges where we absorb our environments, we absorb the patterns and things we're taught as children. So you have to remember as well that yes, you're doing the spiritual work, but actually sometimes, and probably I would say all of the time, the cognitive, mental side of things need to be done as well. So you need to look at the patterns, the thought patterns, and rewire that. So things like affirmations are great for that. Journaling is great for that. Maybe therapy might even be a sensible option as well, working with a coach like myself to go through the cognitive side of things, to look at the thought patterns, track them back, and see where that inner work needs to be done and how you can rewire that thought, belief, or pattern to have a positive, a new positive story, not regressing from that past self or reacting from that past self in your current day self now. You want to be turning up as your current self. You want to be turning up as that, you 27-year-old self, not that 7-year-old self, for example, who feels triggered, who is experiencing that pain. So doing the cognitive work is so, so important. You can do that through inner child work as well. My number one practice that I preach and always say is the most quickest and effective way to do the inner work, cognitively and spiritually. I always bring spiritual, I bring all three elements into my inner child work because it's so important. So we do all three, not just the cognitive, but traditional inner child work with other therapists would be more of a cognitive side of things, of reparenting yourself and looking at the cognitive side. So you would look at self-love, self-care, etc. So all of these things are looking at the cognitive side of things / our next step, our third step, which is the practical body. So this is practical body, physical. This is the third side of things. So we've had the energetic body, the mind, and now it's the physical body. So I did the spiritual work, I did the cognitive work, and I definitely saw massive improvements. I saw shifts, big shifts in my life and improvements, but I always felt like there was a piece of the jigsaw puzzle missing. And the end of last year, when I found out about actually doing energy work on the physical body and releasing trapped emotions and fears and limiting beliefs, and looking at what's called the emotion code with a practitioner, allowed me massively to understand how our body stores things as well. And actually, yes, we're souls having a human experience. Yes, we have, you know, our aura, our spirit energy, but also we have our physical body too. And we have to incorporate all three of these to really embody the full effect of healing, to be able to really fully release things and fully move past things, to be able to experience life here and now from that happy, aligned place, of course. So look at your physical body. For me, I was experiencing burnout. I was experiencing very physical symptoms as well of burnout, of chronic acne, of chronic stress as well. So my body was giving me all those signs of something is wrong here. And actually that my body was now ready to release the trauma. My body was now ready to release, you know, the past and the things in the inner work I'd been working on as well. So you may have physical symptoms. A lot of the time your inner work will manifest as a physical, you know, body symptom as well, whether that's like bloating, something as minor as that, or it could be something quite obvious as well. Maybe it's a chronic illness, maybe it's whatever. And again, not to dismiss any of that because I don't have chronic illnesses, but my best friend Hannah does. And we've had deep conversations about this, of sometimes we also have those karmic contracts to be born in with those things, to experience those things. And it's not always a suppression of something, you know, sometimes like chronic illnesses is very much not a suppression of things. But as an example of someone who was suppressing things, because I could only talk from my experience, burnout, chronic stress, chronic acne, massive suppression in the physical body of the inner work that I still needed to do. But obviously I'd done the spiritual, I'd done the cognitive, I was like, what's left? So we also have to look at the physical body as well. So the work I did, the emotion code practitioner work, was fantastic. Like I saw massive, massive, massive shifts with that. But also looking at my actual health. How can I support my health? How can I support myself? What supplements and nutrition actually did my body need to balance my hormones again? What did I need in my physical body to release that? So it was really a combination of all three, but really I saw the biggest benefits when I brought that physical body self into things as well. So the reason why I'm sharing this is because I'm writing my next book as we speak, and I cover a little bit of this in there. I can't give the theme away, I can't give much away. So all I can say is there's a little bit of a theme in there. I call it something slightly different within there, but it's looking at those three pillars, those three key elements of healing, and then saying, right, how can we actually move beyond limiting beliefs and fears? How can we actually embody all of these and work with all three of these in a safe environment to actually be able to manifest effectively, efficiently, and with ease from an aligned space? So I really hope this video has helped you and given you some nuggets of wisdom to go away and try, and maybe even some thoughts of inquiry for you of where you could start, and obviously where you can start with this inner work and combining all three. So do look at the physical body as well, because I feel like that is overlooked so much. We don't give our bodies enough self-love. We don't always listen to our bodies, and our bodies are so intuitive. Like, oh my gosh, like the one thing I have learned across this healing journey over the last 6 years is how intuitive my body is, and how my body would tell me when I need things, when not to do things, you know, general intuition in general, but also body intuition of like the foods I need to eat, the supplements I need to do, the things I need to do to improve my health. So your body never lies. And, you know, again, like I said, it could be something as simple as bloating that is actually the suppression of something within your body, or it could be something more, you know, obvious, like with me, chronic stress, chronic burnout, chronic acne. All of these things were a reaction to obviously the inner work and the inner emotions that were trapped within. So combining all three is great. And again, you may not have things on an obvious level like that. Not everybody has loads of inner work to do. I did, but not everybody does. So it might be something on a really small, subtle scale for you. It might be, you might be relating to what I'm saying here, and you're noticing maybe on a big scale. And there's no right or wrong with this. It's your journey, your spiritual journey. And I just want to give you that information to be able to start to incorporate this and work with this in a way that feels right to you. So incorporate those three, explore those three, inquire with those three as well. And really just ask yourself, like, what healing is being brought up to the forefront right now? If nothing is coming up, celebrate, enjoy, go outside, enjoy our new freedoms, enjoy summer. you know, we have seasons, everything is cyclical, so not always will we be doing in the classroom, learning, doing the inner work. We are just like the seasons. We have that yin and yang energy, that polarity energy, feminine, masculine energy of sometimes we're going to have more inwards times where we do the inner work and we have to go within to clear. Other times we're going to have an outwards experience. We're enjoying, we're manifesting, we're out there. So honor what cycle you're in. If this video isn't resonating right now, save it and come back to it when it does, right? We don't always have to be doing the inner work. And I think that's something I really want to stress as well in this video, is we don't always have to be doing the inner work. If it feels right and something's coming up for you, it's feeling potent and it's triggering, amazing. You know, work with it, allow it, sit with it, see how it feels, and like I said, use some of the tips and tools I've given in this video. And also as well, in my one-to-one coaching sessions and in my manifestation membership as well, I cover all of this and work with you guys in a safe container to unpack this together. So if you do want that extra support, obviously that's there for you, as well as my book Positively Wealthy as well, 33-day guide to manifesting sustainable wealth and abundance in all areas of your life. I take you through those 33 days with that inner work as well. So there are so many different ways that you can do that with my help as well, whether it's a book, the membership, or working one-to-one. But again, if you don't feel that something's there, if you don't feel it's potent, don't stress about it. Don't worry about it. Celebrate, enjoy, and meet yourself in the space that you're in. And maybe when something comes up in the future, this will ring home a bit more, and then you've got those tips and tools and you know what to do in your spiritual toolkit when the time is right. So thank you so much guys for watching my video. I appreciate all your views and likes. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here, because I would love to see you again soon. Don't forget to leave me a comment in the comments box down below, because I reply to them all. And don't forget, you can join my free Law of Attraction support group over on Facebook, where you can join myself and other like-minded souls, where we talk all things Law of Attraction and spirituality. I hope you have a great week, whatever you're up to, and everything I've mentioned is in the description down below as well with links. Sending you all lots of love, guys.